Hey guys, Zumio here. Seeing as MoP is just around the corner, I thought I'd start making some essential basic hunter guides so that you don't have to spend all your time researching when you hit level 90, as I don't know about you, but I'll just want to play the game when I get to that stage. In this video, I'm going to go over level 90 hunter stat priorities, gemming and enchanting. So I'll start off with stat priorities. Firstly, you should know that the hit cap is no longer 5% in PvP, it's now 3%, which makes it much easier to hit, and this is equal to about 1020 hit rating. In addition to this, we now need to use expertise as shots can be dodged, and the cap for this is also 3%, which is around 700 expertise rating. It looks like the actual stat priority changes depending on which spec you play. Obviously you need to stack agility as much as possible and get your caps, but after that there's still a lot of debate, mostly revolving around crit versus mastery. Haste doesn't seem to be that great, and from what I've seen, if you're marksmanship you want to stack crit, and if you're beast mastery you want to stack mastery, as the MM mastery kind of sucks for PvP, whilst the BM mastery is actually incredibly good. So that covers that. I'm just going to go over weapon enchants now. It's unclear how hunters are going to obtain disarm reduction in MoP. At the moment we have to deal with 8-second disarms, which is just not on. I think Blizzard might just allow weapon chains to be attached to ranged weapons, despite the fact that really what they should do is add 60% disarm reduction to our PvP set bonus. In case they don't do this though, you want to use a scope called Lord Blastington's Scope of Doom, which gives a nice 1800 agility proc for 10 seconds. There's also a slightly cheaper scope called Mirror Scope, which gives 900 crit rating for 10 seconds, but this isn't as good as the agility scope. As far as gear enchants go, there's not a huge amount of choice. The helm and shoulders will be rep rewards or honour rewards from somewhere, so I'm not going to talk about those. At the moment in Cataclysm we use a resilience enchant on our chest item, but there isn't such an enchant in Cataclysm. Those of you that played in Wrath might remember that we always used to enchant plus 10 all stats on chest, and that's coming back in MoP. A new enchant called Glorious Stats increases all stats by 80, and I'm sure this is what we're going to use, though there is a new 200 resilience enchant that might also be a contender. On our braces there's a new agility enchant called Greater Agility, which gives 170 agility, but unfortunately there's no glove version of this. On our gloves we can choose to either use an old enchant or use a 170 mastery, haste or expertise one, and I think a lot of people will use the mastery one as the expertise cap isn't that hard to reach. On our boots we will use Blurred Speed, which is just an improved version of Assassin's Step, giving 140 agility and increasing movement speed slightly. Then there's only our cloak left, on which we will put Superior Critical Strike, which gives 180 crit rating. Obviously there's a new belt buckle too, giving you an extra socket on your belt. Lastly there's gems. We actually have quite a wide choice as opposed to now in Kata, where you just gem agility, crit and spell penetration. Our PvP set in MoP has 3 red sockets, 4 yellow sockets and 4 blue sockets. There are unique epic gems, but we're not really going to see too many of these until a little bit later on, so I'm just going to cover the blue gems which are available to everyone. The red sockets will obviously be filled with delicate primordial rubies which give 160 agility each, but for the yellow sockets I'm liking the look of the deadly vermilion onyx, which gives 80 agility and 160 crit, but beast mastery hunters will probably want to use the adept vermilion onyx, which gives 160 mastery instead of crit, and as it looks like BM will be the spec to play, this gem might actually be quite common. Depending on how good PvP power weighs off against agility, there's also the Effulgent and Radiant wild gems, which trade the agility for PvP power. I'd say be safe and stick with agility at the start. People will know after the first week which stat is actually better, so you can always regem then. For the blue sockets, there are a few good bets. Again, the Wild Jade gem provides 160 PvP power and 160 mastery or crit, but if PvP power is an awesome stat, you might be better off gemming the Stormy River's Heart, which provides 320 PvP power. Lastly, in the meta gem socket, you want to put an Agile Primal Diamond, which gives 216 agility and 3% increased critical effect. I haven't included any of the expertise gems in this, as the expertise cap is really easy to hit, but if by chance you aren't quite at it, there are multiple gems that provide expertise, and the same can be said for hit rating. So that covers all the enchants, gems and stat priorities you're going to want to get your head around. It might change a little bit, but I think it's going to be pretty accurate up until launch. I'm going to be releasing a few more of these videos in the coming weeks to help people get ready for the new expansion, so make sure you stay tuned. See you later.